Oh,
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Because I watched it a second time and it did raise it where I had it before, and I just make the joke about the Gungan Naboo battle as
Stop it.
just to get people irate. It's awesome. Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comically Gaming episode 122. This month of December is a little bit different as we are kicking at you our top 10 throughout the year of different genres of movies, video games, and whatnot. So this episode, we're going to cover the best movies of 2018.
Our best movies.
Our best movies. So this will be fun because it is definitely a riot.
It's going to get heated.
With the TV show.
Very heated.
So,
well, actually, not as heated as you think, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know who it will. I don't know who it will.
Watch this. So starting off with my bottom 5.
What you got?
And then my number 5, my number 10 is The Predator.
Interesting.
Number 9 is Deadpool 2.
Get the fuck out of here. Deadpool 2.
Number 8 is Solo.
What's my...
Corey, don't interrupt.
Number 7 is Crazy Rich Asians.
Nice.
Number 6 is Get Out.
Above Deadpool 2.
No, I heard it was good.
Yeah, number 6 was Get Out. And then my number 5 is Ready Player One.
Alright.
Like I said, I opened it with it's going to get a little...
What's your number 5?
So,
I said
Ready Player One.
Expand.
so
Ready Player One. I just think Ready Player One's a fun movie. I really do. I think it's just overall, it's a really fun movie.
It was my number 6.
wasn't even on my list.
And I can rewatch it a lot of times just because it's a fun movie. I'm glad that it changed from the book because the book wouldn't have translated well to film. And I think that they had to cater to a broader audience.
I think you're wrong. I think the book would have translated perfect to film.
No, because a lot of
translated?
a lot of the references to some of the stuff in the book would have lost.
Let's move this on.
75% of the audience.
I don't care about that percent of the audience. I care about me. It would have been a great movie with Star Wars in it, with D&D in it, with
I had
to agree.
whatever.
It
It had a friggin' die. That's all it had.
No, it had more than that.
What else did it have?
Had a
Sarlacc, right?
Gygax. It had a Sarlacc.
Where?
It had
When?
the
When
D&D
did they have a
poster.
Sarlacc? He wasn't.
There was a couple things when.
He was
Spoiler
in the book.
alert.
He wasn't in the movie.
Are we doing
When
this?
he finished, when he wins the key and he's talking to the guy
That's
in
like
the
a
room that shows his
Full minute.
9-year-old self on the poster of the wall next to the button that shuts down the Oasis. There's a lot of D&D shit.
On the
Okay.
A
poster.
poster
Next
on
person?
the wall.
Who's
Are you
next?
kidding me?
No, I think it's important, Dirk. I also think I can't just pass up Deadpool 2 being a worse movie than Crazy Rich Asians.
It's a
So,
comedy
I
sequel.
mean, we're not even talking about Deadpool yet. If he puts it that low,
Okay, all right.
we'll wait for
Mine-
the next person to mention
It's higher on my list for sure.
So, on number 5. So, kick it off to Nate.
All right, I got number 10. I got Room 237, which is a movie about The Shining. Which
Yes,
the
I heard
Shining
that.
part of Ready Player One proved that they could have done what was in the book instead of The Shining, and it would have been awesome. Anyways,
The Shining
sorry.
was a homage to Stanley Kubrick.
No, he was
Well,
the director.
It is a Stanley Kubrick movie, so
Well, and that was Spielberg paying respect to Stanley Kubrick. That's what that was, because I can give you a back history, because I read all about the history of the making of this film.
Snake's
Okay, we
list.
don't
Go
need
ahead.
it right now.
Number 9 is A Quiet Place. Number 8 is Sorry to Bother You. Number 7 is Venom. And number 6 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, that's way down on my list.
Number 5, I have Solo. Probably doesn't deserve to be there. But
Solo
I'm a
beat
Star
out
Wars
Ant-Man and the
nerd.
Wasp? Wow.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is not that good, dude.
To me, it was those two movies and Venom are equal. They're all right. I had a
Yeah.
good time going to the
I
theater
really
and
like
watching
them.
them.
Ant-Man
So
Wasp was great.
It was okay.
What was wrong about it?
It
it
was a
wasn't
sequel.
funny like the first
It
one
was
was.
it was a comedy
Yeah.
sequel that bombed.
When he was little, that was funny.
The only saving grace, the only reason why
action moments.
the only thing it really was a redemption for that movie was, in fact, that they tied the end of that movie into the timeline for Infinity War.
I really liked that movie. I liked it a lot.
But we're not talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. We're talking about Solo.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
right.
sucked. Big disappointment. But I'm
I like
I'm enough of a Star Wars nerd to whatever. Put it at
I
number
like
5.
I thought he did a great job as Young.
Corey.
All right. I'm bumping my bottom one because I forgot. So number 10 is Tomb Raider. Number 9 is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh, you just watched it, huh?
Yeah. Number 8 is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Number 7 is Ready Player One. Number 6 is Get Out. And then number 5 is Solo.
Solo, so you agree?
See?
Yeah.
Look at that. Solo's going to get points.
It is. It's gonna be like top 3.
The worst.
Top
I
3.
mean, the worst Star Wars movie besides the prequels, but still decent.
Oh.
With you. Agreed.
No.
100%.
Dirk.
All right, Dirk.
Okay, I don't watch many movies. I need to preface that, so I only had 9.
Okay.
I just don't. I fall asleep. Number 9, Mudbound. Number 8, The Salesman. Number 7, Moana. Number 6, It. And number 5 was Avengers Infinity War.
Wow.
Oh.
Number 5.
Number
that's
5.
lower than I put it.
Wow.
Wow.
Number 5
Number
was
4?
Avengers Infinity War.
Wasn't that like your jam? I thought that was your movie.
Yeah, but I mean,
Black
look,
Panther was his
people.
movie.
That was number that was better.
I need to shape my argument here because people think if I place a movie or an item at number 5, it's not necessarily that it's a number 5 item. It's that the 4 above it are just beating it out. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I'm
you
just-
guys should be
I'm just
happy
surprised.
because
So, how'd you feel about Infinity War?
I loved it. I mean, I thought, I don't know. It kind of, the middle was a little weird for me, you know.
I thought the
but,
middle was awesome. What when they were making his hammer?
It was it's not that it was
fucking
bad.
dope.
No, well, no. The stuff with Gamora, it was so strange. Like I feel like it might raise higher on my list, but I gotta watch it again. I had so much. I felt like there was so much going on in it that it needs a repeated viewing.
So
There's a lot going
I
on.
will tell you
There's a lot going.
that what you say there, my opinion raised considerably on the repeated viewing.
Yeah, I do want to watch it at home.
To me, the big 3 comic book movies this year were Infinity War, Black Panther, and Deadpool. And when I watched all 3 of those movies twice this year. And on the second viewing, it totally rearranged my layout as well. But it went up for me. I thought that movie was great. I think it's my kids' Empire Strikes Back. It's
a little bit, yeah.
It's
And
an
it
awesome
did.
middle of a story.
It's shocking.
And it
Very
did mirror like the Phantom Menace, the battle on Naboo too. So
Still talking about that. All right, Jeff, move along. Number 4.
my number 4 is I, Tonya.
Nice. Very good stuff about it. Yeah.
It's a great movie. It was
Yeah.
a movie about
Pretty
Tonya
sweet.
Harding. Margot Robbie did a great job playing as Tonya Harding, and it was a really good movie.
Jeff, I like your movies better than your TV, I gotta say. Go ahead.
Corey,
All right.
number 4.
Number 4 is Black Panther.
Wow.
All right.
Decent Marvel movie.
Black
Such a dick. I knew. I prefaced this whole argument that was going to happen during this, but I'm not a part of it because it's not my number 1. So go ahead.
Well, I think I got to be honest. Like Black Panther, grew considerably for me on the second viewing. My initial viewing was I
remember
didn't
that.
enjoy the fact that most of the action was two guys fist fighting. That I like my comic book movies to be fantastical. On the second viewing, I realized that movie is fantastical. It's just in this completely unique way that I
It was
must
more
have been
sci-fi.
kind of blind to or whatever. Yeah, and even like when he goes into that world where all
it's
the
not that
previous Black Panthers
fantastical.
are and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's something that's like a spiritual realm that Marvel hasn't attempted anything like that. You know what I mean?
Listen,
And
there are themes that they covered in that no superhero film on Earth has ever tried to even go.
And
so
not
I
just one thing,
understand.
but like 5 or 6 themes.
I didn't want to get into it, and I'm not going to engage in whatever with Corey. I know he's egging me on, but the point is, like, it's not. I think it elevates itself above just being a superhero film. There's stuff in there that leads it. There's a reason why they're talking about it in like Oscar-worthy buzz. I mean, there's talk about it being in there. I don't think I don't think it's the best picture in film of the year.
No.
But the fact that it's even in that conversation should tell you something about that.
I rate everything. I rate everything off the feels. That's how everything gets rated, and I did have much feels when I watched the Black Panther.
That you're not the target audience for that film, right?
No, you aren't. We are not.
You understand?
I am.
Like he's a comic book fan.
Corey, there are people around me that don't look like me that react to that film very differently than how you and I react to it.
Our comic book movies should be targeted towards the comic book fan.
It's a black James
It's above that. It's above that, dude. There are things that were built into that film that make it not just a comic book film.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to, okay, whatever.
Let's just move on.
I agree. Well, I agree with both sides. I think
I'm not trying to fucking go to.
I agree with both sides of that. But I think that you can sit there and say that you can appreciate the cultural significance, even if it's not aimed at you.
No, I loved it, honestly.
And I feel like the comic book side
I'll
of it
say we're
awesome.
all avoiding it. We're all avoiding it. We're talking about black people, and I will say it was super
Who's
cool.
avoiding it? I kept on drawing it out.
Well,
yeah,
no,
we just
well,
talked
except
about
no
it.
one said it. But except no one said. Either way, in the theater, it was usually when I go to these movies, it's a bunch of white people, and that's just how it is. But it was like half and half in this movie theater, and that's awesome for sure. Like, it's why is it all white people that go to comic book movies?
Well, look at who most of the heroes are. Most of the heroes in those films are white.
Yeah.
Right?
But still, that's not.
You got to think about it outside of your own perspective, dude.
It was not only a Marvel superhero movie. It was a superhero movie that showcased a black male as a great role model. It showed that it broke the stereotype.
Higher because of that. Point.
It broke the stereotypical roles that a black actor will usually get in a movie, unless you're Spike Lee, and it just boosted him to the top. I mean,
my counterpoint to you guys, though, is that it was awesome.
It was an awesome movie. Yeah.
Like,
yes,
to me,
absolutely.
That's like, because it's not, that side of it isn't directly aimed at me, I can still appreciate it, and that's like the cherry on top of an awesome comic book movie. Corey's talking about
totally
comic book
agree,
movies.
Nate.
It's an awesome comic book movie.
Nate, I totally agree. I didn't think about all those themes until I was out of it, and when I sat with a lot of that and then considered it and thought about it, then a lot of it came to me. But as a film on its own, it still would have been one of my favorites of the year.
It's funny, and I went the opposite direction the second time I saw it. Like, I didn't think that
That's
stuff
why
at first, and the second
I think
time
I
it
should.
was great.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
similar feelings, Nate, when we first watched it.
I remember the conversation in Discord when you saw it and you started giving your first critique, Nate. Oh my God!
It was pretty much the same in our review show of it. I watched it again too.
It was. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to change my mind about stuff.
Oh,
okay, Corey, Dirk, number 4.
Number four for me is Deadpool 2.
DP2. Now can we talk about Deadpool, Corey?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Awesome fucking movie.
You finished it?
it
recently?
was.
This week?
Yeah, I watched it last
Okay.
night.
All
I
right.
finished it
You
last
did
night.
watch
yeah.
this.
I thought
You liked it?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best superhero films out there. Honestly, I mean,
Comedy when he gets the first team together. I mean, it's so funny.
dude, there's so many moments.
I mean, we can't spoil it. We can't spoil it.
Look, I actually went through. I said fantastic dialogue, unparalleled comedic value, and I mean that. There's nothing in a superhero film that is that funny. Not even close.
Nate compares it to other comedies rather than superhero movies.
And I didn't think it was great compared to comedies.
Domino was badass. Nice to see Black Tom.
Domino was badass.
The CGI was
She was so
questionable in
badass.
some areas.
When Domino was in that bus, or like in that first scene when she kind of showed off her stuff, she was so
I'm just
badass.
going through real quick. CGI is questionable in some areas. Weasel is perfect. It feels like a movie that's made for this generation. It's a little jaded in that sort of dialogue, which I totally appreciated. The gore and brutality is incredible in it. Russell, I found, was kind of annoying. I laughed openly so many times. The soundtrack was fucking badass, and it reminded me sort of those gag movies from the 70s and 80s, like Airplane and Naked Gun. Yeah, it had that sort of feel to it. Yeah.
Only it also had awesome action, right?
Yeah. They did.
To me, like the scene when X-Force parachutes out, and then it turns into the Domino scene, and then you see the Juggernaut. Like that whole like kind of range of the movie got me. To
my hair was raised.
Like, man,
I had goosebumps the whole time during that.
Special moments right now.
I didn't have goosebumps, but it was like, I mean, top 3 superhero film for sure.
It's all right.
And I feel like, Dirk, the reason why I kept on hounding you about it is because it's also the greatest X-Men movie ever made, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. The fact that X-Force is in it. I mean, Shatterstar, R.I.P., was incredible in it.
Even when he opened the door in the X-Mansion.
That was good. That was funny.
Tied it together.
No, I thought the dialogue was really smart, though. There were so many allusions to other stuff and references. The references were just crazy off the chain, and that's what got me, I think, more than anything else, was the dialogue.
Yep. It was fantastic, for sure. What do we got? Are we up to me?
Number 4?
My number 4, a few weeks back, I talked about this Netflix movie that I saw, Raw. Still has definitely made an impression upon me to where I think about it, because the imagery in that movie is so brutal and crazy that recommend that for everybody. Raw. Yep. So number 3, Corey. No, this is Dirk.
It's me?
Yeah.
All right. Dunkirk is my number 3.
What a great movie that was.
That was last year for me.
I saw it.
Oh my God, I saw that this year. I messed up.
I saw. Yeah. That's what I managed to snag it at the very end. I watched it in my in-laws' living room, and they have an excellent sound system. And I'm telling you, the sound editing in that movie
it's amazing.
Is like off the charts. You feel like you're on the fucking battlefield. I mean, it was just like crazy. And I liked that they went into, it wasn't a straight war film. It jumped around a little bit. It was a little weird at times.
It had a weird timeline to it.
Yes. And
I love how it tied it in at the end.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot that, and I think that I would maybe make it my number 1. I'm not going to change my whole list right now, but I agree with you. That movie was fucking awesome.
Yes.
So great. So great. I didn't know anything about that story that it was telling prior to that, so it got me to research what really happened back then. And
you didn't take U.S. history or anything?
They definitely didn't.
Jeff, we're not all military people. We were raised in Manchester.
Right.
I know Dunkirk. No, he's talking about Dunkirk specifically. Yeah.
I studied it in history class in high school.
No, I don't. I didn't know.
My history class
I
did
didn't
not
know
go
anything
into
about it.
individual battles of World War II. Besides,
Oh, I did. But I love World War II battles.
Right. Well, I'm just saying my
Yeah.
high school class didn't do that.
Yeah, I've always
Who was it? Miss Old Lady? What was her name?
This old lady, that was her.
No, it was just.
Go
It
ahead.
felt like an epic film. I mean, it was epic. It was as epic as you can get. And I love war films already, but this was like special on its
Yeah.
own.
I thought it won the Academy Award for sound editing.
It has to have.
Maybe.
It was awesome.
I thought it was just another one of those great examples of a movie not holding your hand, not trying to set
Right.
up a lot of history and stuff. It just kind of
Yep.
dumps you into those three separate scenarios and rolls with it.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah.
So I'm up for number 3. Number 3 is where I had Deadpool. There.
Okay.
Number 3, Jeff, what do you got?
Number 3 is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, gotcha.
Ah, look at you.
I really dug that movie, dude. I really dug that movie. I overlooked the whole debacle about the way they released the music timeline.
The
I didn't
fight
care.
with the band. Yeah.
I didn't care, dude. It was just the guy that played Freddie Mercury was on point. I mean, all the people that
Rami
played
Malek.
Rami Malek and all the guys that played all of Queen as the band members were great.
Yeah.
I mean, just the look-alike was amazing. And then when they did Live Aid at the end, it was awesome.
Nice.
So yeah,
Cor-
Bohemian Rhapsody was a lot of fun.
Corey. Number 3.
3, Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, number 3.
it was
I
on
really
my
liked
list
it.
at like number 17.
All right. Dirk.
I really like that movie.
I did number 3 already.
I know, do number 2.
Oh, number 2, Black Panther.
Ooh,
Black
interesting.
Panther.
It was number 2.
So
We already discussed Black Panther.
I also had it as number 2.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I had Avengers Infinity War number 2.
Infinity War.
Oh, it's the first person to bring it up. So it's probably the other.
Well, no, we did talk.
We talked
Yeah,
about
Dirk
it.
had it, number 5.
Yeah. I had a number 4.
Oh,
yeah.
Infinity War.
Because I watched it a second time and it did raise it where I had it before, and I just make the joke about the
Right.
Gungan Naboo battle as
Stop it.
just to get people irate. It's awesome.
So, Corey, what do you have for number 2?
Poke the bear. Poke the bear.
Infinity War.
Okay, so
Warrior.
it was also my number 1.
Oh,
Infinity War was your number 1?
Yep,
Get
Really?
out of town.
it is.
Deadpool 2 is my number 1.
Shock.
see, Black Panther was my number 1.
So we already talked
Yeah, I
about
knew
it.
you had Black Panther. What do you have, Dirk?
My shocker, because mine's a 2017 movie, that's why, is Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
I loved it. I
that was a great
fucking
movie.
love that movie. Everything. I mean, everything from the colors, the soundtrack, the sort of the space in it.
Really?
Oh.
I need to watch it. though.
Like
I haven't seen it yet.
Fuck
did
it,
you
love
see you weren't part of our review when we watched
No,
when we did the
I
review.
hadn't seen it.
So
Yeah.
did you love how they were able to age everything from the original Blade Runner by 40 years in the movie and still give you that feel from the original?
Oh, dude,
Just updated.
It felt like more than any movie I've ever seen. It felt like a continuation of the previous incarnation, and to have those movies this far spread out, like
40 years
it's actually, and I don't mean to be controversial by saying this, but it's an even better vision of what was presented in Blade Runner, the original, because they have the technology now to sculpt it, right?
Yeah.
So you could take that and like
Right.
make it. Oh, it's so fucking good, dude. There's very few movies that I want to go out and buy on Blu-ray or whatever,
Really?
and download, and I'm gonna go buy that.
So
Absolutely.
it's a must-watch?
It's a
Nobody's
fucking
told me it's a
must-watch.
must-watch yet.
Dude,
It is a must
absolutely.
watch. We
Get
said that
Jeff
Jeff
last
and
year.
Nate and my dad, all of
Corey,
them have seen it.
get
None of
super
them-
baked and watch that shit. And
Super
tell
baked.
me,
All right, I will.
tell
I
me
will.
what you
Did
think.
you watch the first one, Corey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
really liked
did.
the first
Remember
one.
we talked about it last
Yeah,
December.
we talked about the first
Because he thought
I
it
think
was
he's gonna
really
like the
weird.
new one better. I think he's gonna like
It was
2049 better.
He was like, "What did I just watch?"
2049 is not as weird in that respect,
No,
but it's just gorgeous. It's just
awesome.
beautiful, dude. I mean,
I'll check.
just a really well-crafted film.
And what's funny is the lady that plays Princess Buttercup from The Princess Bride is in 2049.
Really, his AI woman can holla all day. Absolutely. Get
Well,
at
even
me, because
I can't say it. I like the Elvis scene too.
right, yeah.
Because I watched it in Las Vegas last year.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, so
that
it
whole-
was-
there were so many scenes in that. I just had to stop and like take it in.
All right, let's put it in the computer.
Come check out D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe at 8228 Oak Street, 2 blocks off of Carrollton in Uptown New Orleans. D4 has everything from TTRPGs to CCGs, including board games that you can rent for in-store play or to take back home. D4 also serves sandwiches, po' boys, salads, and more. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop by Oak Street and check out D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe, the best critical hit in town.
Sounds good.
Dude, I would kill for a po' boy right now.
A po' boy and D&D in the same shop.
Sounds sick.
Here we go.
Oh, come on. Stop.
2018 movie list of the year
Oh,
from Comically Gaming.
Told
Number
you,
10.
bottle.
Ready Player One. Terrible movie. I don't know how it's on our list. 8 and 9 was a tie between Raw and I, Tanya.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought ya.
Yep. Number 7
That's hilarious.
would have been higher if I would have thought about it. Dunkirk. Number 7.
Oh,
Number
What?
6
yeah.
is Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
Number
Wow.
6. Number 5, we got Ant-Man and Wasp. Number
Really?
4 is Solo.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Right?
Deadpool 2.
What?
Wow.
Usually my choices are the correct one. This time we're swapped around. Number 2 is Infinity War, and number 1 is Black Panther.
Yeah!
Oh,
did it.
congrats.
Congrats, Black Panther.
Give it the Oscar. The Academy Award goes to...
Best actor. And again, we come back to giving shout-outs to our YouTube community like we do every episode. And this week is no different. So we want to give a special shout-out to Justin Watches Movies, Beyond Useless Gaming, Matt's Movie Reviews, Bounty Hunter 010, and the Silver Screen Analyst. Analysis, not analysis.
Now, name of the week.
Now,
Beyond
the coveted
useless.
name of the week, I gotta say Beyond Useless Gaming.
Beyond useless.
Justin watches movies.
That's a pretty good one.
And Dirk? Did you
Beyond
go?
Useless.
You already
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to Beyond Useless
Gold.
Gaming. You are the name of the
You
week.
got the gold name of the week.
Sweet.
Not quite.
See how
that.
this works? Plat is universal. Gold is when you got 3.
Yeah.
Silver
I
is
see how
2.
it works.
Yeah, copper's 1. So there you go.
Bronze.
One's not. Is one even possible?
Bronze.
No. Well, we would have
4-way tie.
four-way
For
tie.
Bronze. Yeah. Bronze.
Bronze trophy.
Thank you for joining us for this week's show. Our Comically Gaming drops every Tuesday on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and at youtube.com/GCandC. This show costs us money, so support us on Patreon for at least $1 a month, please.
Patreon.
Search us. And find us on Twitter at GCandC. And join our Discord and Facebook groups. Search for Games, Comics, and Culture.
And if you happen to stumble into Teespring, get a T-shirt for your wife or your girlfriend or your
So
mom
Our
or your
faces will be
sister,
up. Never mind.
and then get a sticker
Or your brother.
Yeah.
or
Or
some
your
guys.
uncle in jail.
Do that.
And he can wear it. And because we always want to thank Fred Thomas for opening music and Xee Reiter for our logo. And
Thank you.
It's been awesome. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you on the flip side.